Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm UncleLander and this is Gran Turismo 2 GT mode, simulation mode playthrough. On the last episode we have managed to finish the entire 4-door luxury saloon car cup. On today's episode I'm going to do the muscle car cup. And for that, I have picked up a car that I would really love to see and maybe one time drive in real life, even for once, even if it's only one time. The Corvette Stingray from 1969, the 427 with 433 brake horsepower and 1,472 kilograms of weight. So, before we go to modify this car, because the only things that I plan to modify when it comes to this peculiar thing is suspension, brakes, and all that stuff, but let's see how this car performs when it's untouched and vanilla. $400 meters? Actually, I'm sorry, I'm having a weird day today. I don't think I have picked up the 400 meters. So I'm gonna restart it. Okay, 400 meters. Let's see how fast this car is on 400 meters. Because those cars don't usually reach that high of a speeds. But they are still great to drive, amazing to drive. Definitely a little bit challenging, because the suspensions are placed very high. There goes the second gear, third gear, and fourth gear with 12 seconds, 0.828. We ended up in the 5th place, currently beating the Lexus GS 400. Let's check how this car behaves on 1000 meters. There goes the 4th gear. I doubt that this car has 5 gears. The old muscle cars only tend to have only 4 gears. And yep, there it is. Only 4 gears with time of 22 seconds, 0.547. At the maximum speed that we can probably achieve on the very first straight, as we're gonna do the full lap of the test course. With maybe 250, but we'll see. 5th place with time of 22 seconds. With all the modifications I'm gonna put to this, we're gonna definitely get additional gear, which is gonna make this car even faster. The maximum speed of 256 kilometers an hour. So at this point, there's not really a point of me driving this car to the max. We can just cruise around. I really love the shape of this car. It's like for 1969, to me, this car is an absolute piece of art. And one day I would really love to not only just see this car, but maybe drive it, even though I cannot drive, but just launch the car, you know, put the keys in, start the ignition, maybe drive it for like a little bit forward for like maybe 5 to 10 meters, and then my life would be fulfilled. It definitely is a dream. Like, I'm not even talking about owning such a car, because that would probably be impossible for me. God knows how expensive this car currently is. And I really doubt that a lot of people would like to part with such a precious thing. Also, I don't even own a driving license, so... Well, sadly unranked with 256 kilometers an hour. But that might change. Because we're gonna change this car, we're gonna change how it performs. But I'm not gonna increase the power of this car. I don't really think that's necessary when it comes to the Muscle Car Cup, because a lot of cars that are gonna be in that cup are gonna be just unmodified. So they're gonna definitely lose a lot of time on the corners, while I'm gonna gain all the times on the corners. Alright, let's get to the modifying this car. So let's start with the brakes. Gearbox, one of the most important things, because with the fully customized gearbox we're gonna gain 5 gears instead of only driving on 4, which should probably increase the maximum speed output of this car to at least 270 kilometers an hour. Of course, that assuming we're gonna set up the gearbox appropriately for the track. Which, when it comes to the Muscle Car Championship, we're gonna have to drive in Seattle Short Course, Full Course, and Laguna Seca. So, technically speaking, we're gonna have to like adjust the stiffness of the stiffness of the car in a pretty specific way, because Laguna Seca definitely have its own bumpy areas, and Seattle Full Course also have its own bumpiness to it. Pretty peculiar bumpiness. And from here, we're only gonna buy weight reduction. The active stability controller and traction controllers, they're not really that great. They're not really that required, honestly. Like, you can buy them, but if you like to buy something, always look for like the yaw stability controller, which can only be purchased for a few cars. Because with yaw stability controller, if you adjust it properly, you can make your car drift and just have fun. But I think this stability controller is only available for Mitsubishi Lancers anyway. Alright, so we have all the parts that I want to buy already bought. Let's start the Muscle Car Cup. And the first race is at Seattle Short Course. Oh boy. Maybe 4. And let's go for 5 over here. Gonna lower it 120, gonna go 130. I think that's gonna be a little bit high anyway. Let's set this up to 4 and 6. Camber. Let's check if 1.5 is gonna be too much. Set up to 5. 5 and 6 for now. 2022. Gearbox. This car is gonna be pretty damn fast, so maybe let's stick it to the 9. And LSD for 9 to 5, but we might want to increase the LSD diesel maybe to 10. Depends on how a car is gonna behave. Let's see how it's gonna behave right now. And what do we got? I can see the Corvette Stingray from the earlier age. I see Dodge Challenger, Shelby Cobra GT 350, I think, Plymouth GTX, and Plymouth Muscle Car. Yeah, this lovely corner. Well, the car definitely oversteers a little bit. Might need to lower the suspension. So this track is pretty damn tight. Yeah, we definitely have much more oversteering. So I might need to lower the car. 123 might be a little bit too much. Center of gravity of this car is not good enough. And I think we're gonna increase the LSD diesel to 10. We're still gonna have to spend a little bit more time on this car, but it's not that big of a deal because we still managed to finish the race on the fifth place. On the first place was Shelby GT300, and the second Corvette Stingray 67 is on third, Plymouth Muscle Car on the fourth, Dodge Challenger on fifth, and Plymouth GTX on sixth place. Money and new car required. Let's go for the second race, which is gonna happen at the Seattle Full Course. And I'm gonna have to adjust the car a little bit. Let's bump this. Let's go 110 and 120. Maybe 115 and 125. Yeah, that should be a little bit better. Okay. Camber can stay. I'm gonna eliminate the toe. Stabilizer is fine. But let's increase the LSD to 10. Let's see how the car is gonna behave right now. And we have Plymouth GTX. I can already see another Challenger. I can see Plymouth Cuda. Mercury Cougar as well, and the Plymouth Muscle Car. Yeah, it's understeers even more now. So for Laguna Seca, I'm gonna have to increase the spring, probably fight a little bit more with the car settings. Because I think LSD diesel is actually decent. The toe is gonna stay as it is. The height is fine. And the first lap with 1 minute 36.733. I think the gearbox is also fine. Don't think I'm not gonna need to adjust it anymore. Broke a little bit too late over here. I distracted myself with looking at the time of the split, which was 22 seconds. And we finished the race with time of 1 minute 29.294, and with the Mercury Cougar being at second, Dodge Challenger at third, Plymouth Muscle Car at fourth, Plymouth Cuda at fifth, and Plymouth GDX at the sixth position. The rewards actually for this championships are pretty neat, because all of the cars that we're gonna get over here are not obtainable in any of the shops. It's like majority of the cars when you think about it. We're gonna have to fight a little bit with the suspension. Might need to still thinking about adding the positive toe on the rear axle. How about we're gonna go 7 and 5 on the spring rate. Suspension height can stay as it is. That's 1.5 can stay. How about 7 and 6? And let's try a positive toe at the rear. Because LSD diesel should be good enough. We'll see how it's gonna go. Because if I really wanted to like constantly modify this car, I would spend a little bit of time with this, because I would also need to adjust the gearbox, because the first gear is over-revving quite hard. This actually gives me a little bit of a PTSD. With the Dodge Viper Team Oreca S7 license, which I also have posted on YouTube. Boy, was that test horrid. Oof. Okay, yeah, that didn't help. I think I need to adjust the camber with this car. But now the only best thing I can do is just brake a little bit more harder. A little bit afraid of the corkscrew. I think adjusting that toe was not necessary. Would love to put the racing car modification on this so I can increase the downforce. Finished the first lap with time of 1 minute 29.165. This car is actually fun to drift when you look at it. Yeah, the positive toe on the rear did not really help at all. And maybe I should go for the lower spring rate on the front and the rear. At this point it's kind of irrelevant because we are probably not gonna drive this car unless we're gonna take it for the Corvette Cup. Oh well, I'm not a professional. I have not played this game in like 10 years, if not even more. So mistakes happen, but the victory also happened. With me being on first place, Plymouth Muscle Car on second, Dodge Charger on third, Dodge Challenger in the fourth, another Dodge Charger at the fifth, and Corvette Stingray from 67 at the last place with the time on the second lap of 1 minute 23. Oh, actually, it's not. It was 1 minute 22.109. I believe. And for this race, we got 10,000 credits. And a new car required. Let's see what kind of cars we have actually managed to obtain. Because I believe that the final reward for the muscle cars is actually pretty damn special. It's pretty damn funny looking car. So let's start with the first reward, the Plymouth PD Spider, which is actually one of the best vanilla B-class cars that you can get in the arcade disc, besides the Honda S2000, and also it's a pretty neat car in itself, though it cannot be really highly modified. Sadly, but it is a good contender for 246 brake horsepower races. Next car is Cobra 247 from 1967 as well, with 423 brake horsepower and 1068 kilograms of weight. It would be a good contender for the Open Car Cup. This car is highly unstable. You really have to put a lot of time and effort to make this car drive a little bit better. And the last but not least, the boy of thickness with a smile on his face, the Chrysler Phaeton, with 502 horsepower and 1600 kilograms of weight. This boy is long, this boy is smiling, this boy is massive. It's definitely a car worth keeping. We might not even use it remotely for any of the races, but it is a unique thing to have in your garage. We're probably gonna have to get rid of some of the cars sometime in the future. Right now I don't really worry about it. So ladies and gentlemen, that was the Muscle Car Cup. All I can say is that I definitely need to spend a little bit more time trying to modify the cars, because I definitely have forgotten how to do it properly. I definitely will have to spend a little bit more time with this car to adjust its oversteering. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the end of this episode. People of Twitch, we're still going to continue on with the stream. But people of YouTube, this is like I said, this is the end of the episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing, ring the bell, stop at the like, leave a comment, all that good stuff. All the links for all my socials can be found down below in the description in the pinned comment. Music made by Car Casey at Web by Studio, and YouTube channel White Bat Audio. So consider giving. I'm considering the credit to a probably music artist, and you guys consider giving a follow to that artist as well if you also find the music enjoyable. So yeah, thank you guys very much once again for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.